If you've never built a computer before, it can seem like a daunting task. With all these i7-9700Ks and RTX 2080 Ti's and Radeon 7s, the naming schemes for a lot of different things can be quite the challenge to memorize and get down the concepts of exactly what everything does. I remember when I built my first computer, I was so confused and overwhelmed at all these different parts and combinations. So let's try to clarify a few things with some tips for those of you who are new to building PCs. Okay, so the first tip that I have is to just take your time. Building computers can be a fun and simple task once you've got everything down, but if you're a beginner, then it can be daunting and confusing as to exactly what you need to buy and how it all fits together. If you slow down a little bit and take the time to learn everything, when it comes time to put silicon on silicon, things will just make more sense. Sure, you don't need to memorize every single graphics card or CPU name, but taking the time to ensure hardware compatibility and make sure everything actually works together will let you have a more enjoyable and frankly more simplistic experience. Okay, so the second tip that I have answers a question that I actually get quite often. When looking at the specs of a graphics card, it's easy to notice that it uses memory that motherboards just simply don't. And while it may make complete sense that having a GDDR5 card with a DDR4 compatible motherboard might cause some issues, in reality, it doesn't. From a technical aspect, your main system RAM and your video memory don't directly interact with each other. The GDDR5 in your graphics card works independently from the DDR4 on your motherboard, and both are used to feed information to two different processing chips. So no matter what type of RAM your motherboard supports, whatever version of GDDR memory that your GPU has doesn't actually matter. You can pair a GDDR6 carrying RTX 2060 with a DDR2 supporting Core 2 Quad if you really wanted to. So the third tip that I have is to just do research on the components you're looking to buy. Now by that I don't mean to look up long spec lists of your prospective GPU or CPU, but instead look up benchmark figures and reviews of the hardware that you're checking out. And if it's possible, look for benchmarks running on the exact hardware combination that you're speccing out. Check out how the components you're looking for perform in your desired use case scenario. Check out gaming runs if you're throwing together a gaming PC, and check out professional runs if you're building a workstation or office-focused system. Looking at how your prospective hardware performs will not only give you an idea as to what you're buying into, but will also help inform you of better and possibly cheaper combinations that will better suit your needs. Tip 4 for new PC builders is to find a happy medium in terms of your budget. By that I mean to find a good place in your price range where you're not spending too little and also not overspending to the point where you're building a system that's going to leave a lot of performance on the table. Doing research and checking out performance benchmarks will help you determine this more than anything else, but the downside to this is that most of us just simply don't have all that much cash lying around to build a new system. Saving up your money rather than cashing out now will ultimately give you the best experience, and although you do have to wait, good things do come to those who wait. Alright, so the fifth and final tip that I have for you is to keep it simple. While this may be a little hard to do, especially if you're totally overwhelmed by all this technology information, in the end these parts were designed by people, which means that they can be understood. It may take some time to learn everything there is to know, and all the little tips and tricks involved in putting your own system together. But if you're patient with yourself, you will eventually learn exactly what all these different parts do and what their names reference. Trying to not overcomplicate things will ultimately make it easier and more enjoyable for you, even if you don't know exactly what you're doing 100% of the time. It's like building with Legos. At first you're not so great and you may need help from someone who's more experienced to get you off your feet. But with time you'll eventually learn how to build more complicated and impressive things with these tiny pieces of plastic. In the end, the biggest tip that I can possibly give is to just take your time. It may be frustrating and overwhelming, but you'll eventually get it. Once you do understand things though, trust me, everything gets a whole lot more fun. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and click the bell icon so you'll be notified about all our future uploads. If you want to support us over here at Proceu Tech, then check out our recently reworked Patreon page. We're hoping to make some big changes to the channel in 2019, and I can't wait to have this experience with you. And also tell us, what tips would you give to someone who's never built a computer before? Were you on the struggle bus initially as well, or did you pick up rather quickly? Tell us your story. I can't wait to see what you have to say, and I hope you have a fantastic day. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.